Okay, just wanted to provide some updates on a few projects I've got on my table and I'm planning to try and get back into. Been on a long hiatus from building mechs for quite a while and I'm feeling the urge to get back in there, so I thought I would show everybody a few of my projects that I've got on the plate and give you some more information on those mechs that I was trying to remember the names of, that if you wanted to piece things together. But from the video I just posted a little bit ago, you can see I've already taken this guy apart. I'm looking at doing a different cockpit. This one is off of Jolnir, I think, maybe. I don't remember the name of that one, but I'm going to see how that one does. I may use a little Sculpey to bulk up the back of the cockpit and see how that works out. It's a little more dynamic than the other one I was going to use. But I wanted to show you a few projects that I've got. So here you can see that I have taken a MechWarrior Dark Age Battlemaster and I have made it into the Red Corsair. If you'll note that it does have two PPCs for the guns. I got those off of a Gundam 1/300 scale figure, I think. And then I drilled out the center torso, and I don't know if you can see there very well. That's the large pulse laser. And I shaved off the bits here off of the shoulder, smoothed them out, make them a little more like the traditional one. This is a Dougram die-cast 1/44 scale Battlemaster. You can see it's much larger, but still good as a reference. Always had a fondness for that one. Oh, and I also shaved off the SRM pack since it's all energy. But I will be painting that one up as the Red Corsair at some point in the future. This one I'm really proud of. This is a modified, it's going to be a new Dark Age longbow. I've been putting this guy together for a while. I'm using the legs from the Macross Destroid Tomahawk that you could get as a Gashapon trading figure. And I bought a whole bunch of these guys when they came out because I love this figure. Best looking Warhammer I've ever seen, honestly, in my opinion. And it's Dark Age scale, which is the scale I'm working in since I'm old and my eyes don't work that well anymore. The classic scale is just too small for my taste now, so I've moved up to N scale, which coincidentally is actually the size when the game first came out with the 1/200 scale models. Actually, here's an interesting one I did many years ago, one of the 1/200 scale, and that's when I really knew what I was doing. You can see I've posed him in the same picture as the same pose as the picture of the box art. I did the lines, I sculpted the hand. The antennas have long since broke off. I am going to replace those at some point. But I've had that guy for many years. Here's a Phoenix Hawk I did, and his antenna is also broken off. Starting to show a little bit of yellow with age, but I think it still looks good. Let's see, what else do I have here? Okay, so the longbow. What I did was I took the legs off of the Warhammer, the figure, and I put I believe it's called a Maelstrom. It's an assault mech from Dark Age. I shaved some of the bits off there for the extra guns, and I used parts from a Hygog model, Gundam model. You can see the light blue areas where the arms are countersunk in there, and I extended out these bits that I had from some other toy or something that I thought looked good. I will be taking out that middle section to put missile pods in there, but you can see a classic longbow next to it. That is a die-cast 1/44 scale, I believe. So this is always one I've liked a lot. On the hips, if you'll notice, there are those protrusions. And what I've got here, I don't know if those will focus very well, those are 5 missile packs from a little resin kit that I had of a Valkyrie 1/200 scale. So those are going to be mounted on the hips on swivel pins so that they will kind of rotate. So there'll be 2 LRM-5s on the hips, and then whatever other missiles I can cram in there using Clan Tech. And it's going to be basically a Longbow 2C. I've still got a lot of work to do on this guy. I've got to shore up the arms and, of course, clean up a lot of the lines and everything. But I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys that's something that is on my plate. Over here, this is a quick mod if you wanted to. It is using a Shadowhawk 2C upper body and a Ghost's legs and arms. I saw somebody online had posted this as a mock-up for a Hunchback or possibly a Hunchback 2C. Would just have to sculpt some autocannons to go over the shoulders. But it makes a good mock-up, you know, since they don't make every figure in N scale, much to my chagrin. I really wish they would produce more, especially the MechWarrior figures from the game. But, you know, I've only had a handful of those. This is another one that I've been working on, off and on. This is a dragon, and it is from Alex Iglesias' concept art for MechWarrior before they finalized the dragon in the game, which I'm not as pleased with as this drawing, but I really loved this. I've always liked the dragon, and I wanted to build one. So here's where I have gotten on that. I have taken a Shadowhawk 2C's torso, which is a very versatile one, and I have made a Sculpey chest piece in 3 pieces. Pops right on there. And you can see I have tried to emulate the side vents on there, and it looks pretty darn good in my opinion. The cockpit looks pretty much just like the Dragons, and I'm really hoping to be able to bring this guy to life someday. I did sculpt the waist area out of Sculpey, and I think that one came out pretty well too. I'm not the fastest guy when it comes to these projects. Sometimes it takes me a couple of years before I get back to them, just because of my work schedule. But I think it's coming along pretty well, and I'm hoping to have this guy done someday. This is an Avalanche that I did for my wife, who has a fondness for pod mechs just like I do. And my wife also has a thing for Holstein cows, so I believe 1 year for her birthday I painted this up for her. As you can see, it has kind of a cow nose there, and did it in the Holstein colors that she likes. Trying to get her into the game, but never really could get her to do it. But she does appreciate the figure. So, this is my current one that I'm working on tonight. Kind of got sidetracked from this guy since it's too cold to paint. And I thought, well, let me see what else I've got on my plate. Once again, I've used another set of Avalanche legs, which I really love this figure because it's so versatile. And the torso is from a Raider Mark II. The arms are from a Shockwave, and you can see there's the Shockwave. There is the Construction Mech Mark II that I took the flamer from the right arm. You can see I cut that off. There is the Raider Mark II, which is the main torso. And the arm, the left arm, is actually the right arm off of a Forestry Mech mod. I just flipped it around, but I thought it looked really great. And the missile launcher that just fell off is from a tank. And I sanded this guy down until it fits pretty snug in here. Let me see if I can place it back and then give you a good shot of how this is going to look. The arm is just glued on there. I haven't finished syncing that up. But this guy, I'm going to put a spacer in the waist to keep him upright, a little taller. But I think it makes a great, like, Oscout or something like that. Looks a lot like Bishop Steiner's redraw of it. And obviously it's in a cool dynamic running pose. It's got a flamer, maybe a machine gun. And I loved these rocket pods, so I managed to get those over the top. And I think they will be like periphery rocket pod 10s or something like that. 3 of them. So this guy's going to be like a pirate mech or something that they've put together. On these avalanche legs, they do have 4 holes or 3 holes on the thighs, and I'm not sure if those are supposed to be missile launchers, but I usually fill those in with some glue and sand them smooth, as you can see right there. And I may add, you know, a little extra piece here and there, but this guy will be painted up in hodgepodge of colors, like a salvage design, where they didn't have enough time to paint it all together. But I just thought I would show you guys what I've got on my plate here. Several years worth of stuff, but I'm hoping to get some of these completed, and if I don't feel my painting skills are up to the task, I may pay somebody to do it for me. But I'm having a lot of fun putting these guys together, and I'm gonna try and get these finished up and usable so that I can try and get a game going if I can ever find anybody in my area to play with. We will be doing N-Scale tabletop. But anyway, that's it. Just wanted to throw that up there and let anybody look at it that was interested. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. I tried to include all the information that I have as far as which figures I've used and which parts and pieces, if anybody wants to duplicate anything I've done here or maybe even improve on. Oh, and the mech I could not remember the name of for those arms is called a Violator, and that's one right there. So, good luck, and I'd like to see anybody else's modifications for Dark Age stuff, and I'll catch you later. Thanks.